Brought to you by The Vault.
Hi, I'm Shy.
And I'm Kathy, and this is our Girlfriends Talk Show where each week we have fun and we spill the tea.
Or the wine. Be sure to find us wherever you listen to your podcast and follow us on social media. Welcome to this episode of Girlfriends Talk Show. We kind of got a different setup going on right here. Got the side chicks.
We're officially at the table.
On both sides of you.
How does it feel?
How do you feel? We're surrounding you.
I feel like this.
Yeah? You like that?
Turning my head back and forth. I kind of like it. I like being surrounded by women these days. It's kind of my thing. And I did not know that at 14, which takes me to today's subject. So we're going to be talking to our 14-year-old selves, and everybody listening right now or watching, I'm sure, has plenty of advice for their 14-year-old self. Yeah. This one, my little Katie, is not too far from being 14. What was that, 6 years ago for you? 7? 8 years ago?
8 years ago.
8 years ago. MK and I have got a little bit of time from our 14-year-old selves, a little more reflection time.
Just a tiny bit, yeah.
So, I mean, we've all kind of got some things that we did.
A little bit wiser, not a whole lot, but a little bit than 14.
For sure.
I like to think.
Our question of the week that we posted on our Facebook page, which hopefully you've gone to it, you've seen it. If not, go to it right now because we want to hear your feedback. The question was, what kind of advice would you give to your 14-year-old self? And some of those were really cool. MK, she is our... what can I call you? Our technology guru, our looker-upper guru.
I like a looker-upper.
The researcher.
The researcher. That sounds a little too technical.
The researcher.
The looker-upper.
I've basically got my doctorate
in the looking
and
up
Google.
So some of the answers that have come through already are pretty cool. I really like the one that I don't know her name. We can call her out, but I can't remember her name. She says to her 14-year-old self,
"You're gay. Don't waste time on a boyfriend or something." I can't.
On that guy that you're trying to get.
Now that we're down in the vault, I've lost
on the
all
boyfriend
service.
You think you need.
Yes.
Yes.
And I don't have any service either. Anyway, there's several other comments on there. Somebody says that they were just fine with their 14-year-old self, which that's pretty amazing.
That is pretty crazy.
I don't know anybody that was fine with their 14-year-old self.
Stop crying over that guy. Oh my God, please trust me on this.
14-year-olds
I like
are so
that
dramatic.
meme. Read that little meme.
If you are 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, it's not time to fall in love. Go wash the dishes.
Yes.
I love that.
That's perfect. That's what my mom and dad used to tell me.
Do better in school and enjoy life. I love that one.
Live,
It's
laugh,
hard.
love.
It's hard to tell a 14-year-old to enjoy life. They truly don't understand it.
Do what I did and stay on track. Okay, wait till 30 to marry. That was Anita.
honest.
That's some good advice. All right, so let's. I'd ask these girls to kind of jot down a letter, so to speak, or a guide, if they could go back in time and pick it up at 14, and it would help guide them in a better direction. So, Katie, what was some of yours? What would you tell yourself?
F what mean high school bitches say. They suck anyway. Don't look for validation in others. Your braces do get taken off eventually, and girl, your teeth look good.
So smile hard in pictures, right? Were
Yes.
you one of those that like covered or kept your mouth shut when you smiled?
No, I did like this weird fake smile that I thought was cute with my braces. Yeah.
So many junior high kids do that.
I was really insecure about him. When your boyfriend cheats on you, break up with him. Be nice to your mom and embrace your hot mess, sister.
Because
Love
it's
all
going
of
to
those.
stay that way.
Yeah.
MK, what was yours?
Mine was that it'll be cool. It'll all be good. You're going to have a hot boyfriend one day, and none of anything won't matter anymore.
None of the things that are going on.
None
will
of
matter.
the stupid things that you're going on at 14
The
will
things
matter.
that you think are the end of the world, because everything
Exactly.
seems like the end of the world at 14.
Hopefully, there are some 14, 15, 16-year-old girls and boys watching this show. If not, if you're the parents, get them to watch. So maybe we can help enlighten them on a few things because everything in their little world right now seems so dramatic.
Big. It's so, everything's so big. I just remember every
Nothing's
situation.
ever gonna get better. I don't know how many times I told my mom that. She's like, I swear it will. I promise.
All those things mean this much now. So let's see. What would I say? I have to make notes on like old school notes because I'm old school. I would say, first of all, to my 14-year-old self, your mom is really not the royal bitch you think she is. She is, but she isn't. If that makes any sense. Talk more and rebel less is what.
That's such a good one.
I would paint that poster and put it in my room. Talk more and rebel less because that's all I did. The only thing that your parents are wrong about, I say the only thing that they were wrong about is how they disciplined me. But once again, talk more, talk it out, and rebel less.
I love
really
that.
good advice.
Yeah.
I was such the rebellious 14-year-old.
And last but not least, don't try so hard to be popular in high school because I tried really hard. I was already popular. I don't know what I was doing.
I love that.
I mean,
I was
Popular,
there.
Not even trying.
I didn't have
Quit
to
trying.
anyway, so those are some of the things I'm sure you listening have gotten some ideas. And please go to our Facebook page and jot those down or send us some stuff through Instagram. I still haven't even been on there to see if anybody.
I saw you made an Instagram though, like a personal Instagram.
Okay.
You were on the gram.
Let me tell you why. Because Kathy spent the night with me the other night, and she made me, and I haven't been on there since because I don't know what to do.
You scroll and enjoy.
You look. It's so much better than Facebook because there's not a whole lot of reading.
When I scroll, it's only
just
four
watch
things. Like it's.
That's because you don't follow enough people yet.
Oh, yeah,
So go
babe.
follow
We
Shy
gotta get you some
and
followers.
go follow Girlfriend's Talk Show on Instagram.
I don't even understand any of this. So coming up after this, I'm going to call my mother. And if you've listened or watched any of our podcasts, you know that when I call her, it's always a bombshell that I'm going to drop on her. And I haven't even warned her that I'm going to be calling her. So I don't know how this is going to work. She might say some things we might have to edit. Who knows? But we're going to do that coming up after this. Hey, you! Yes, you! Watching or listening to this amazing podcast hosted by two of the most dynamic and brilliant women you'll ever meet.
Advertise with us and watch your business grow as big as our heads.
Seriously, hit us up at vault.news/contact and find out how affordable you can advertise on our show. All right, welcome back to segment 2. And as promised, I'll be calling my mother, and I'm so nervous right now.
She's so nervous.
I really am. My palms are sweating. I think my pits are sweating right now. But yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to try to put that off.
It's good to know that never gets better.
It doesn't get
It
better.
never gets better.
That's the one
14
thing.
to 22 to 43, it never gets better.
No.
They're always scary.
And I mean, I moved out of my house when I was 16 years old and was like, I don't care what you say. I don't. And
I'm grown.
I've never moved back, and I'm still nervous. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, I mean, I have 3 kids, and I still really don't like to tell her that I've ever had sex. So, so before the break, we were talking about, us being 14 years old, and one of the things that I'm going to tell my mother is something that I did that's pretty hellacious. Is that a word?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's a word.
That I did when I was 14 years old. And I don't think I ever told anybody except maybe a couple of friends, which at the
Some
time,
girlfriends.
that was cool to my friends. But anyway, before I get into mine, I want to hear about these chicks here because especially this one, Katie, because Katie isn't too far from 14 years old. And I'm sure whatever it was wasn't so bad because you don't seem like the very bad, rebellious type. But go ahead. What's something you did at 14 that was embarrassing? Maybe you haven't ever told anybody, but you're about to tell the world because everybody in the world watches our podcast.
I mean, I wasn't doing great things as a 14-year-old.
Were you having sex?
I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was. I don't. I think if I could go back, like that would be in my letter for sure. It's like, girl, don't even.
Just wait.
Just wait. But
It's not even good at that age.
But I went to a family function with a huge hickey on my neck one time. And it was like way too in the front for me to cover with my hair. And it was my first hickey, so I didn't know what to do. I'm like Googling and it's telling me about the toothbrush and like the cold spoon and shit. And which none of that works. And so I walk in, I say hello to a few people, and my uncle pulls me over to the side and is like, hey, there's a curling iron in the bathroom. I'm going to go turn it on. You need to go burn your neck.
So
And
you
I
can
was
really
like,
use that
"What?"
excuse.
And he was
I use that
like, you need to
excuse.
burn over that thing on your neck so your mom
Did you
doesn't
do
find
it?
out. I did not.
I
I
know,
did
that
not.
would hurt. I couldn't
I,
even psych myself up to do that.
Yeah, no, I did not go.
Did your mom
burn
find
over it.
out? Did she see it?
I always felt bad, like I was a guilty. I couldn't lie, so I ended up telling her, and an argument ensued, and I thought it was the end of the world because I was 14. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'll never live through it."
Mm.
But it was all okay.
Lo and
I mean,
behold, you lived through it.
yeah, the world keeps turning.
So what about you?
I was raised very Pentecostal, which was so much fun. A1 recommend to everyone.
When's the first time you put on makeup?
So that's the thing. So my mom had old makeup from like a play that she was in. And so I would, and she never wore it except for like during this play. And so I like stole it out of her
Ooh.
drawers and used it. And it was like so tan because it was like stage makeup, you know? So it was like,
No one will know.
and then I also, oh God, at that stage in my life, I didn't know what to do with my eyebrows because they were caterpillars. And so that's when I used a razor and would shave my eyebrows
Did you
like
ever
that.
cut
strip?
yourself?
No, I never cut myself, but they looked bad because it was like they started here, you know. And then I would do stuff like, you know, cut my hair, but with like random things.
Okay.
Interesting.
So it wasn't like bad girl, but it was just like,
Hashtag
I
you.
want to be normal.
Pentecostal life.
I don't
be a
want to
real
live
girl.
this life anymore.
Well, y'all really make me feel even worse than I already did because this one's pretty serious. Let's call my mother.
You can tell us all.
Oh my gosh.
She's in an event, so there might be some.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, I had to give
your
her a heads up that I was calling. She gave me a heads up that she was going to hang up if it was something bad like it was last time, which it is.
mom. But
Matter-
you lied to her and said it wasn't.
Matter of fact, it's worse.
I'm so excited. I'm nervous for you.
Oh my gosh.
I am too.
My stomach's a little butterfly.
Mine's very butterfly. Oh, mother, please don't hate me. Please don't track down the person that
It's
I'm
a
about
good
to tell
thing.
you about.
That's the good thing about moms is they can never hate
She's
you.
probably running to the bathroom.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Sean.
How are you today?
I am great. I'm sitting at Hilton Head, South Carolina, eating crab.
Yum. Yum. Well, that's good. I'm glad
Got
you...
butter all over my chest.
Nice. I'm glad you're in a good mood.
Am I going to be in a bad mood?
No, Mom. You know I never put you in a bad mood.
Who's with you?
The
Who's with you?
Well, Kathy, she isn't here today. She had something come up. So, but I got the side
Oh,
chicks. The side chicks are here, and you know they help us with our podcast now. So, anyway, they are about to hear for the first. We're talking about our 14-year-old selves, and yeah, that was a bad year for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're talking about letters that we would write back to our 14-year-old selves and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, I'd asked the side chicks, Katie and MK, what's the worst thing that they've done when they were 14 years old. And I think you would have loved their answers. I'm going to let you go back to the podcast and look at those because their answers were very sweet and innocent compared to things that I did.
Okay.
So...
So I won't cry when I read theirs.
No. And you won't cry when I tell you, you know, when you hear mine or Mom, I got to tell you a story. So this happened when I was 14 years old. And,
How was you cut out?
I said this happened when I was 14. Now I think the statute of limitations is like way gone, so I think I can mention this person. He's kind of famous, kind of not. His family's famous, I guess. So, and I'm pretty sure they don't watch this podcast, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Remember Aunt Dot, remember her band that came down to Glenmore for the family reunion?
Yeah, Billy Ray Cyrus's brother.
Kibo, yes.
Kilo.
Yeah. Well, you remember I was staying over at Mommy's, which is my great grandmother. I was staying at her house when they came in, and Kibo was, I think he was.
Yes. Don't tell me.
Well, and it didn't really seem creepy or like.
Did he know you were 14?
That you're just cutting out, but you're really cutting out for sure. That's a good thing to say. You're cutting out when I don't want to hear it. But hold on, let me move.
I don't think you want to move. I don't think you want to hear the rest of the story.
I think I could just guess.
Okay.
Was
Well,
it anything worse than when you were 14 earlier?
well, no. I mean, it was kind of the same activities, but
Okay.
yeah, but
Did Mommy know anything?
no. I never told her. She would have killed it. I mean, I was 14.
Oh my God.
But so
I think I've heard it all, and you told me everything. I just keep getting it.
I know, but
I'm gonna get it to the day I die.
so for the record, it was nothing creepy. It's nothing
Okay.
that I didn't like okay with. It was nothing like that. Granted, it was wrong. It was no good. However, I didn't really think about how crazy that was until Kaylin turned 14. And that's when I thought about it, my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I thought about it. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? What did he do? But anyway, it was, yeah, that was just another thing that I did.
Having a daughter 14 years old, after what you went through, if you do, if you don't if you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like you kind of know what to say or what to do, but then she's going to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm. And I did.
So,
And I
deja vu.
did.
Yes.
But so
Yeah.
anyway, I feel better like I did the last time about getting things off my chest. Makes me feel better because I think the only people that I told was, friends that were around about the same age.
I'm sure that Kaylin appreciates all that too. That's one thing that I didn't get to do when I was with you growing up. I didn't really I had kind of a sheltered life, but yet I did take off at 12 years old to a nightclub and got caught.
12 years old.
Scandalous.
Mom, I've never heard that.
A girl there in Glenmore where, oh my God, this is kind of bad, but her mother had poisoned 4 or 5 men. You read about it. It's in Glenmore and her daughter. And I didn't know all this at the time. No, I just stayed at her house. She spent the night with me, and next thing I knew, this girl was 12 years old and driving a very nice Camaro and heading down to Evangeline Club all the time. And I rode with her one time. Well, lo and behold, somebody that my mom and dad saved was there and said, I think I saw your daughter there.
Oh my gosh. 12-year-olds
All we did was
driving.
dance. That's all we did. We're a dancing family. That's all I did was go down there and dance.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad believed me, but it's the thought that I lied to them, and and her mother knew that. So that was a lesson learned there too. But that's about all I can relate to tell you about. But
That's a good one.
like I
That's a
said,
good
I
story.
know Kaylin really appreciates you being straightforward. And she might not like to hear a lot of stuff, but yet, she knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I know. But am I going to hear this over and over till I'm 75 and 85?
Probably. I have a lot more stories.
Oh, no. Well, wait, so make sure my heart's okay if I live that long.
I'll just throw one. I throw one at you maybe once every 2 months. I'll give you a break.
Oh, thank you so much.
That'll last you for the rest of your life.
I miss you, and
I miss you. I love you. Have fun eating that crab.
I will, Shy.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
She's so cute. Honestly. Seriously.
That wasn't
Her
so
story
bad.
is fun.
Yes, she never told me that. I didn't know she.
Bonding.
All the bombshells. coming out.
Interesting. Interesting. So, just to, I know there's probably going to be some people watching this episode saying, oh my God, I cannot believe that. Just to kind of calm everybody down. It was I'm 43 now. It was several years ago. It was okay. I didn't think anything about it at the time. I was a 14-year-old girl
Did
that
he
was.
know you were 14?
No, I lied.
Okay. That makes it
better.
bit
Yeah.
better.
But I was just having fun and felt, he was like really interested in me. So and he was a musician. So it was just really cool. And you know how I am with music and musicians. So,
That's a hot.
yeah. So anyway,
Hot isn't what I would call it.
I mean, if you have any ugly comments, just send them to me personally because I can handle it. It's okay. And I'll tell you more about my life because if you think that's bad, I've got more, and I'll be happy to share with you another day. So I think that's going to wrap it up. But before we wrap up, we do have a thing that we call the Urban Dictionary Word of the Day. And since Kathy is not here, I'm going to send it over to her clone.
I have the honor of doing the Urban Dictionary Word of the Day. Okay, so in honor of Kathy, the Urban Dictionary Word of the Day is a Kathy dinner. What do y'all think that means?
Kathy dinner. I know.
Very bougie.
I know. Yeah, that's what I
Like
was
a
going to
very
say.
fancy dinner.
It is
Complete with
Kathy with, a
wine.
K, so
Oh.
that makes it a little bit different.
That's different. I don't know. What would it be? What is it?
A Kathy dinner is a dinner consisting of just cereal.
Ah, I had that last night.
Everyone loves a Kathy dinner.
I hate a Kathy dinner.
Really?
I ate a lot of
hate
Kathy
cereal.
dinners in college.
Chocolate Cheerios. Here I come. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode of Girlfriends Talk Show. Please be sure to go to all of our social media outlets, Instagram, Facebook, and give us a like. Give us your opinions, whatever you have to say. Pour your heart out on there. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time. Oh, girlfriend tip of the day.
Yes, yes.
Usually Kathy does this. How about you do this, MK?
Help your girlfriends see the very best in themselves by giving them positive affirmations and providing them opportunities to exercise their 14-year-old. Oh, wait. Yeah. Exorcise.
Exorcise.
Exercise. Okay. Oof, my dumb's coming out. Their 14-year-old demon stories to their mom. As always, stay girlfriends.